Hi everyone, this is Mike Gordon. Welcome back to Castlevania Month. Here on Perfect Playthrough, our objective is to accomplish everything this game has to offer. Our objective for a perfect playthrough here in Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge is simple, just beat the game. But first, let's look at the story for this game. Dracula has arrived. Dracula is looking to be reborn ever since his castle was destroyed as a result of his battle with Christopher. 15 years later, a ceremony is held honoring Soleil, the son of Christopher, who will be the next vampire hunter. This is basically after the events of Castlevania Adventure. Dracula has been waiting for this time because in order to return to Earth, what is he, an alien or something? He must use the power of Soleil. The next day, 4 castles appear while Soleil disappears into the fog. And now, a new battle must begin. Wow. I'm amazed that I was able to read that text even remotely quickly. Because the text scroll here is very, very slow. Also, hopefully none of you are epileptic. Alright, with all that begin, let's start this game. Alright, I'm just gonna start with whatever castle that I'm highlighting over. So first up, Crystal Castle. I'm gonna fully upgrade my whip. And there's no need for me to do speedrun or tasking strats for this one. Because the simple fact of the matter is, this game is pretty quick. Alright, good. I was trying to align myself properly so I could pick up that axe. Shit. Okay, so something you need to know. Normally I would prefer the holy water to the axe, but there's 2 things you need to know. Number 1, you're climbing up a ton of walls in this game. And number 2, the holy water sucks in this game. There are only 2 weapons, by the way, the axe and the holy water. And this is probably the only game where the axe is actually a better all around weapon than the holy water. So yes, I'm just taking my time. Now this one is a mostly horizontal game. It's probably the only one of the 4 castles where you spend a considerable amount of time outside. And there was a hidden one up in the wall up there. And I'm gonna... I'm just gonna keep on scrolling down here. That is annoying, dealing with those eyeballs. I'm gonna take the upper route here. And this is why the... Alright, we are back to having the axe now. Shit. Oh, come on. I wanted the axe. Alright. I took the upper route because the lower route has like this annoying ass enemy that likes to throw daggers at you. You won't be able to skip him for very long, but... And there was a turkey leg in there, so I grabbed him. Change of music, I see. This basically, and when you hear the change of music here, it means a boss fight's coming up. Alright, picked up the orb, and now the boss battle begins. I was able to get 4 hits with my whip out of him. Can't believe I was able to make that. Yeah, because this game is short enough, I don't need to worry about... Again, because this game is short enough, I don't need to worry about speedrun or task strats or anything like that. I just needed to play good. Now, huge difference between Belmont's Revenge and Castlevania Adventure. Well, 2 huge differences. Number 1, there isn't this constant dithering effect that makes everything feel forever. Instead, you just have really large level designs. The second thing worth noting about Belmont's Revenge that differentiates it a bit from Castlevania Adventure is that you can actually gonna make the beeline for the door. Is that you can actually take damage and your whip won't immediately downgrade. There is one exception to this rule, but we'll get to that. The only way for your whip to downgrade outside that lone exception is to die. I can take hits from enemies now. Of course, in later stages, the turkey meat is very difficult to come by. Jump. Jump. Shit. Took a ton of damage there. Yep, spikes in this game hurt like hell. It's imperative that we kill those frogs as they appear. Otherwise, they will just harass you non-stop. Oh, there is a turkey leg coming up, so I hope I can run into it soon. And there's a secret passage here. So we could skip a whole room. Alright, gimmick here is that the candles keep this room alight. Now the people in the Castlevania subreddit have told me just use the holy water, act as a light. The holy water as a weapon sucks ass. This is pretty much the only stage in the whole game that you should use it. And guess what? You only in this room you only use the holy water in case you took out all the candles. And now you need to keep the room alight. So if you take out a candle, those rock things I'm jumping on, they come alive and will start harassing you. Oh yeah, and the screen turns completely dark so you can't see the bottomless pits. By the way, I actually prefer the music in this game far more than Castlevania Adventure. I know some people like the music in Castlevania Adventure, but it felt like it just kept droning on and on. And this is where the turkey meat is. We absolutely want to get this because the boss coming up can get pretty freaking aggressive. And this is the enemy with the knives I was talking about. Found the sweet spot where he can't possibly hit me. But that sweet spot's only relevant after the first jump. And this music change means a boss fight's coming. Now, he doesn't seem too bad at first. But once the music changes, that's a whole nother story after that. He jumps around, deals a ton of damage, has a ton of range. You gotta watch for the Strider blade beams. And I just turbo attacked the guy once he was on top of me to finish the job. So there you go. That's 2 stages, 2 castles in the can. Crystal and rock castles are done. We just have 2 to go. And I believe, yep, we are highlighted over the plant castle. Yep. And just press start to skip the full movie. And I'm gonna try off-screen those frogs. Oh, that's disappointing. Believe it or not, this probably has the easiest level design in the whole game. However, I don't like the holy water. And that boss fight I just fought was the only boss fight in the game where the holy water is actually helpful. Probably because he is one of 2 bosses that remains grounded. However, holy water in this game does not deal sustained damage doesn't deal continuous damage like it does in the NES game. If you're playing the Japanese version, you get the crossbow. You can only surmise just how much of an improvement that is. However, I do think in hindsight, hypothetically speaking, the axe is probably better for the Dracula fight at the end. It's kind of funny. As powerful as the cross is, it's not really the best weapon I would recommend using against Dracula in any of the games. Or at least not so far. Maybe play Castlevania 4. These guys are annoying, so once I line them up, I just spam the hell out of my whip. I took out the bat before it became a problem. But I need to get the axe. Luckily, that candle that you see up there has it. Shit. Last use of the holy water for the rest of the game. And see how much improvement the axe is? I could literally take out those giant bats that split off and multiplied like the bat boss in Dracula's Curse. And honestly, it kind of feels good to play a Castlevania game where I don't have to struggle and suffer. And there was a hidden turkey leg right there. Where I don't have to constantly suffer and struggle. So yeah, just jump those eyeball things. This section is a little trickier because of the spikes. First thing I want to do is off-screen that guy, so he's not shooting eyeballs. Well, that's disappointing. But well. And now the last bit are the spiders. Now we don't really care much for the spiders here, but the gimmick with them is they have those spider webs that you can actually climb up and down like rope. Here we actually have to do that. And once you kill the spiders, whatever rope they made remains. Until you go off screen, and then until you go off screen and cause the spiders to respawn. Oops, change in music. That can only mean one thing. With those eyeballs before anything bad happens. Yeah, I am not taking my chances here. And I want to initiate the next boss. And the axe here definitely wreaks havoc against these guys. And you just keep damaging the heads with the axes, and you win rather easily. And the reason why and honestly, the main reason why this game feels so easy so far is because you can play these 4 stages in any order you want. Which means one stage is not necessarily harder than the other, unless you take into account level design. which case, I think this one is probably the hardest of the 4 stages. For me, I would say the Crystal Castle and this Plant Castle are probably the easiest in terms of level design. I would say Crystal Castle first, then Plant Castle, then Rock Castle, and then this one. And alright, so here we go. And the reason why I think this stage is so much more difficult than even the rock stage is because of all these spikes. And those things. I actually forgot to mention this, but these things are the only things, Dracula's ball sacks, I like to call them. They're the only things in the game that can actually downgrade your weapon besides dying. Taking care of the giant bat before it becomes a problem. I'm not going for that candle. I'm taking those jellyfish things out with my whip and axe. And yes, so much climbing in this game. I mean, because there isn't much in the way of verticality in Belmont's Revenge, and because the holy water doesn't actually deal continuous damage, it only hurts enemies once. Holy water kind of sucks in this game. I get it, but a lot of times it seems like these sorts of people like Konami or Nintendo, like to overcompensate for something being too busted. Oh yeah, and these ropes. Oh, we have to wait for that to go up, otherwise we won't be able to make any progress. I'm gonna try to hurry up. Barely made that. And now we have to. Alright, that's okay, good. I'm allowed the luxury of a few flubs here and there. I don't need to play like a god or anything like that in this game. So this is so in a way, Belmont's Revenge feels a bit like therapy. Ignore the candle down there. Amazingly, I have been neglecting to get hearts up till now. And now they're just giving you a crap load of big hearts. But now I have the fewest hearts up to this point that I've had this whole game. And the axe definitely beats the piss stain out of this guy. Oh, these guys. And I'm gonna try to get rid of as many of my axes as possible. Which isn't too bad. But now we've gone through all 4 castles that sprung up in accordance to the story. And we get an extra life. So we're at 8 extra lives. And now, out from the lake rises Dracula's castle. Dracula is about to awaken. It's worth noting that Simon and Christopher Belmont are, based on the little information that I have, are some of the only Belmonts in all of Castlevania to appear multiple times as a playable character, fighting Dracula over the course of the series. Now I'm just counting solely from a story perspective. And I don't get it. Christopher Belmont is not quite as memorable as Simon Belmont. And by the way, this music's kind of kick-ass for Dracula's castle. Ooh, jump the scythe. Check out those birds. Yep, we duck out of the way. And once again, check out the birds. Didn't feel confident I would be able to outrun that bird, so I took him out first before going through the door. Alright, take out the bat while I'm on the rope. And now we got another bat to take care of. Platform. More hearts. Don't. Having more hearts can't possibly hurt. Use an axe to take care of that fireball because I don't want to downgrade my whip. Take out the first big bat with the axe. Second one. Great, I don't want the holy water, so I just gotta wait for it to dissipate. So far there, I haven't had to deal with too much in the way of sneaky, cheap gameplay, level design or enemy placement. So far, everything's been kind of fair. That amazes me. I can outrun that bat, so I ignore it. And that's what happens if you attack the big bat and you don't instantly kill it. They split into 2 smaller bats that won't leave you alone. Now, how am I doing this? Oh well. I'm gonna beat the long play for this game. Well, first we want to go up. And there's a hidden one up there. That's like the easiest one up in the game to get. And then you go up and then down. And suddenly, you're in a new room. So, yeah. And change of music means a boss fight's coming up. Let's do this. And we fight a dragon in this stage. Shit. Don't even come close to reaching him. And I have to take deliberate damage here so I don't get killed by the screen crunch. You have to outrun the screen or you die. And now for the second stage of Dracula's castle. And pretty much the penultimate level, too. I had to get rid of that bird somehow, and I needed to use the axe to do it. Honestly, this music kinda doesn't do it for me. I mean, the Castlevania 1 simply had such kick-ass climactic type of music to it. And use the axe to help you out with these guys. And ignore the candle up there that contains holy water. You don't want holy water. And this is definitely the hardest stage in the game. Let's go up. Duck! Duck. Hop up there, you dumb. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, good. We got the rope. Now, duck. Duck. Climb the rope. I realized I could just hit this thing from up there. Something I didn't realize is you can actually break those pillars supporting this thing. More hearts can't help, can't hurt. I think the idea is that this is meant to be more of a somber tune. But it just sort of drones out on a little too long. I was able to avoid hitting those spikes based on my placement. And thank God the spikes don't have the kind of hitbox they did in Kid Dracula. Or Akumajo Special. Use the axe to take out the bat. Same here. And I don't know what's in that candle, and I'm not gonna chance it. It's not gonna contain meat or a 1-up, that's for sure. And for anyone who has any memory of the Nerd's review of the Ninja Turtles, there you go. You can walk between the platforms, and they're close enough to proximity. Ah, darn. Missed the big car, but oh well, I have plenty. Barely reached that bird. And that was an easy big car to grab. Yeah, take out that spider and that spider. And then use the rope to get across. Alright, this part section can be a little tricky. But this time we don't want to kill the last 2 spiders. Well, now we do, because they will be a hindrance while we deal with this guy. And these are the last normal enemies in the whole game. Oh. If you're not at full health, that would have been a turkey leg. The last bit of health recovery the whole game. And this is definitely a different change in music. Ooh. Now, the holy water can be helpful against this upcoming boss fight, but we don't want to. But we want the axe for Dracula. And our opponent is none other than... I'm surprised you made it this far. The rebirth of Dracula will occur soon. You cannot destroy me, Father. Yup, we have to fight our son Soleil. Man, he is tough as nails. The one thing I don't really approve, I mean, I don't mind the music itself per se, it's more like the sound that the music provides. It's just white noise. I gotta spam the attack button because I'm on the ropes and I have to do something. So yeah, this guy is pretty brutal. He and Dracula are the 2 toughest bosses in this game. That goes without saying. Ouch. What am I doing? Oh, Father. Since Dracula cannot use my powers, Dracula will use the power of the 4 castle spirits. The four bosses we fought. Hurry up, quickly. So yeah, the force... And now we are at the final level. Which isn't really a level per se. Just collect the final coin and the final 7 hearts you will find. And these 12 hearts will be essential in beating the final boss. Here we are. What the hell? mean, I'm going to have to take... I was trying to go for 3 cycles each time, but I was only able to get 2 cycles the first and second to last time. If you take too much, you can't just tank all the damage or you'll die, obviously. If I could get 3 cycles in the first round, I probably would have gone 3 cycles the 4th round. But I don't think that's possible. But there we go, we beat the game. And now we get to enjoy, quite possibly, the world's slowest text crawl. So Leo to the right, Christopher to the left. So yeah, that was Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge. Definitely a huge upgrade over the original, over Castlevania Adventure on the Game Boy. But honestly, playing through this a second time, I would probably say that I would probably put it 4th among the 6 games I've played so far here on Castlevania Month. I do think the NES trilogy, even Simon's Quest, beats this out. Dracula's scheme was foiled because of the combined power of Christopher, C, and Soleil. Once again, the world is at peace. And then... Alright, so... Soleil has overcome the dark curse and will continue to fight Dracula and his forces. Soon after, the Belmont family has a long history of vampire hunters. The legend will always continue. Again, apologies for anyone who's epileptic because of the flickering numbers, because of flickering words as they scroll up and down the screen like that. Scroll up the screen like that. But yeah, this is Belmont's Revenge. Definitely the best of the Game Boy Castlevanias that I played. A huge improvement in every way to Castlevania Adventure. However, I still think it's not as good as the NES trilogy, not even Simon's Quest. I do think I do like this game better than Kumajo's Special Boku Dracula-kun. I don't know. I should love that game. It should be a whole lot of fun, but I just thought it was fine. And Castlevania Adventure is just, I don't know. I'm not feeling it, man. I mean, it was just, it needed another year to cook before it was ready to be released on store shelves. That's what it needed. And really, yes, it all boils down to, well, of course it's not as good as the NES trilogy. It's a Game Boy game. I think it's more to this than that because Pokemon, the Pokemon games from Gen 1 are some of my favorite games of all time. It really boils down, honestly, if I have to take a guess, it boils down to the use of weapons in this game. And yes, the subreddit has told me that there are all types of scenarios where the weapons would be of great use to us, but they don't really prop up like that all that often. It's like, okay, I mean, even the rooms that go dark that you can use the holy water to light up, you don't need the holy water for it. You just ignore the candles. So that kind of gimmick is just rendered completely mute as a result. But yeah, that's it for Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge. I hope you like what you see here, and if you do, leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. With all that out of the way, this is Mike Gordon signing out.